All right, we're at the 11th hour, but we still have a little bit of time left to pick up the July 7th, 23 Shrine of Secret perks. Still have the Twisted Masquerade event going on, so they are all 25% off. And we've got some interesting ones today. So, all of these today are Behavior Original IP. So, you always have the option of buying the character with your iridescent shards and then using BP to grab these. But if you're not interested in any of the other perks or the character, then the Shrine is always a good way to snag some of these perks. Our survivor perks for today are a Jeff perk, Distortion. And basically, with this, you start with 3 tokens, and you can regain tokens for being inside the terror radius of the killer. But for each token, you can block aura reading from the killer. So it's a stealth perk, can be very good. Lethal Pursuer, Barbecue and Chili, lots of other aura reading perks are very common. So if you're a stealthy type player, this is definitely a solid perk. And then our other survivor perk is an Atom perk, Diversion. And basically, with this one, you can crouch, activate this ability, and what you do is you throw a pebble, and it leads to a loud noise notification and scratch mark. So this is kind of to throw the killer off. A lot of fun there. So what we're going to try to do is get a video up after this showcasing these perks, and we'll kind of rate Distortion and talk a little bit about that. So Distortion, I think it's definitely one of those perks that is at very least kind of off meta, if not meta. You see a lot of it now. It can be very strong. Uh, so we'll kind of say just off meta. But it does two things, right? It keeps you stealthy, so it can keep you out of chase, keep you alive. And what it also does is it helps give away, especially if you're in a Swift, give away the perks that the killer's running, right? If they have aura reading perks, a token disappears. If it's in the beginning of the game, you know it's lethal. If it's after somebody's hooked, you know it's barbecue. So you can start to figure out what perks the killer is running very quickly by using perks like this. So just well, we cannot write just off meta, we'll write. So solid perk, one that we definitely recommend picking up. This is probably the best survivor perk in here. Again, we got 2 options, so not too many to choose from. And then when we're talking about diversion, this one's definitely a meme perk, but it can be a lot of fun. So if you're looking for perks just to have some fun, this is definitely one to consider picking up. Nice thing about both of these is you can kind of just throw them on with any other 3 perks. They kind of stand alone. You don't have to build around them, don't have to double them up with anything else. And then if we're looking at our killer perks here, this will be a quick, short and sweet one here. We've got Hex Plaything, which is a pinhead perk. This is a great perk. Basically, the first time you hook survivors, they become cursed and a hex activates, and then they are oblivious until they cleanse that hex. And for the first 90 seconds, only that survivor can cleanse it. So you get at least 90 seconds, hopefully, of oblivious status effect when that survivor, or you just get them running around like crazy trying to find that totem. So it's slow down. If they leave it up, then you can sneak up on people. If they don't, then you can usually combo this with something like Pentimento, and then you get extra value out of it. So bring up our little pen here. This one is definitely a meta perk, right? This is very good. Fantastic perk. That's one you're going to want to pick up. Uh, pairs well with Penti and other hexes. So we'll show some builds there that we like with Plaything, but it pairs very well with other perks. And that brings us to our last one, which is a Trickster perk, and that's Starstruck. And what Starstruck does is when you're carrying a survivor, anyone within your terror radius becomes exposed for 30 seconds. So you can really combo that up with other perks like Agitation or some aura reading to try to get some quick down. So fun perk. In practice, people usually run away when they're exposed and hide, so you might not get as much value downing people as you would think, but you will get slowed down out of this. So I think this is one that's just kind of just off meta, but it's a very good perk. We'll say it's off meta, but and it may be more slow down than downs. And this is a little bit more built around, but they're all, we can't spell around when we're scribbling. We'll get there though, right? There we go. Now it spoke correctly. But yeah, these are solid perks. We like this one as well. Uh, this would probably be our first choice to pick up. And then this one, these other ones are maybes, but all solid perks, all good perks, all fun perks. Some meta, some not so much, but definitely an interesting shrine day. So what we'll do is we'll hop over here to a couple builds, show off some builds, and then come back for a summary. So what do we have here? And then we just have a breakdown build here. Like we said, with the survivor perks, with distortion, helps if we spell right. Distortion you just kind of throw in with any 3 other perks. That makes you a little bit stealthy there. You can grab something like this, exhaustion perk. Maybe you want something to help keep you alive. Maybe a little bit of aura reading. And boom, you've got a solid build. Throw in an item, flashlight, toolbox, med kit, whatever you want. You've got a solid build. Diversion works the same way, right? It's more of a meme perk, more of a fun perk, but you can throw it in with 3 good perks. Use kind of as a stealth perk, as a kind of sleight of hand distraction perk, and you're good to go. Nothing too complex with the survivor perks. Now with the killer perks, you're gonna see we have put the meta plaything on a lot of our killers. We just think it's the best slowdown and a lot of fun, and try to run it as often as possible. You don't have to kick gens either. You just have to light a few totems here and there. But as you can see, it pairs up very well with Penti Plaything does. And then you can kind of throw on one other hex because you'll have 4 different hex totems here. There's 5 total, and then you can get 5 stacks of Pentimento eventually. So this could be Ruin. This could be a lot of other hexes. Ruin works well. Retribution works well. Retribution pairs up good with Lethal, but you could run Ruin here, so you have some early game slowdown. You got some mid game slowdown, late game slowdown. Then you can throw something like Discordance on there. That would be a very solid build as well. We can kind of show that build as well. No need not to. So you could throw Discordance there. This one could be Hex Ruin. That's a solid build as well. So pairs up well with other hexes and especially well with Pentimento. So those are kind of recommended builds that we have. These 2 here, but you can kind of experiment and make it work for you. Then our other one was drawing a blank here. All right, we had Lethal and then we had Starstruck. Starstruck does involve a little building around as well. We like Starstruck on some killers that might take a little bit longer to down people. Actually don't have a Starstruck Slinger build, but now we have one on Trapper. So Starstruck here, this is a little item Trapper build, but Starstruck pairs well up with Agitation. And this one we're trying to trap some items, but you can also run it on a bunch of other killers. Any M1 killers where exposed status effect works out well for you that don't have their own effect for causing the exposed status effect. Can be very strong. Can be strong on the Mastermind. Huge terror radius there. I don't run it a ton, but it can be very good. This is just kind of one showcase there that sometimes you want to commit to at least one other, maybe 2 other perks with it, maybe some aura readings so you can see where they went. This helps you just kind of get more people exposed, but it's a good perk. And again, a lot of times it works out as slow down, not so much downs, but there's value in that. So we'll hop back over to the store, pop up our thoughts one last time. So if it was our iridescent shards, we'd definitely be picking up Plaything if we were playing Killer. Starstruck's a maybe. When it comes to survivor perks, Distortion's nice to have there, especially if you like to play stealthy. And then Diversion is a lot of fun. So we got 2 like automatic pickups almost, and then we have 2 that, if that's your play style, they are a lot of fun. So I'm Smig. I'm signing off, but hopefully we see you guys in the comments on our stream or in the fog sometime. If you did like the content, found it educational, helped you out at all, please hit that subscribe button. But again, hopefully we see you guys again soon. Take care.